Welcome viewers to Historical Journeys. Within the Amazon rainforest, long-dead civilizations from South America flourished for centuries. Settlements were carefully constructed, according to European explorers and the communities that were nearby. Nonetheless, even the nearest neighbors wouldn't comprehend the town's splendid plans, not without 21st century innovation. At the point when such innovation at long last became possibly the most important factor, the discovery stunned specialists. How did people in the past accomplish something that seemed so impossible? Old Town's bizarre arrangement drives researchers to a surprising revelation. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, and you won't miss any of our future videos. Let's get started. Because of geographical changes, old native settlements close to the Brazilian side of the Amazon stream are vanishing. Persuaded they'd track down something that numerous others had missed, the collectibles bunch got together their lighters and took to the skies over the rainforest. Nobody had at any point endeavored to follow the leftover pieces of a terminated Amazonian clan with such ease. Carvalho's endeavors to find and supplant nearby groups carried them nearer to disintegration. Obviously, the different outsiders who partook in the journey had no such experience. Regardless of how enthusiastically we attempted, the rainforest was excessively thick to try and ponder, and we had no strong proof other than the travelers who lived there. Capability. There is obvious proof of these settlements in the Amazon, and their organization is amazing, with a sum of 35 urban communities explored. A few intriguing models drawn between the roads that structure his two primary streets through the city. These immense streets associated different settlements. Complex street organizations can extend predictably or be totally unique for every area showed. Did the old Amazonian factions look for the far-off skies as a thought process in settlement? This guide uncovers the verifiable foundation of the Amazonian factions, which had a strong groundwork on which to shape a general public. She was the center of her world, literally and metaphorically, and the sun's power hung over her. The speculations of archaeologists will almost certainly come true now that we have access to lighting devices, and numerous additional early settlements will be discovered. Given the gathering of these stars, Amazonian urban communities might uncover privileged insights of the early improvement of all of Mesoamerica. Truth be told, even the Incan-centered carvings found at around 8,000 feet above ocean level match figures that were for some time concealed until rediscovered by the Western world. Besides, these frightening disclosures are currently provoking others to see the Inca domain in something else altogether. There, a group of farmers lived and worked in the Cusco region, around 11,000 feet above ocean level. According to historians, the Inca Empire would have expanded to encompass much of what is now South America within a few generations. While Cusco stayed the domain's biggest city, other huge urban communities started to spread across the area. Then, around 1450, work began on a second military group 50 kilometers to the northwest of the capital of the Incas. As per archaeologists, the new city called Machu Picchu was worked by the Pajak Eotic bunch and inside it, and it was not just a wonderful spot with latrines and nurseries, yet additionally many parts, sanctuaries, and different structures. As a matter of fact, around 750 individuals are said to live in the city. In 1526, you'll see Spanish champion Francisco Pizarro and his men showing up in the area of the Inca realm. At this point, the Incas were additionally immersed in nationwide conflict, and as their kin were debilitated by European disarray and illness, the powerful country declined, and urban areas like Machu Picchu were abandoned for, indeed, 400 years. Matthew Collector. Failed to remember in the mountains, scarcely any in the space know about his reality. Nevertheless, in 1911, an American traveling to Bingham reached Peru. It appears that Vilcabamba, the enigmatic final city that was thought to have served as a haven for the Incas, was his first stop. In addition, he was taken to the magnificent Machu Picchu ruins by a local. The Americans initially mistook these for the enigmatic Vilcabamba, but Machu Picchu was only recognized internationally. Today, Matt, You picked Peru as a significant vacation or location, drawing in 1.5 million guests per year and keeping every individual who sees it away from Costco. Many individuals traveled via train to construct houses in the city. While the spot is famous with travelers, the Inca mountain town worked really hard of maintaining its mysteries mysterious throughout the long term, and the development of the remote palace is perhaps of its generally getting through confidential. Today, it is accepted that ink was utilized on dry stone to construct the city's noteworthy walls. He added that the Incas would in general form urban communities in remote and unavailable areas, new to the stones and mountains nearby. Manigault began conducting his own land surveys because he believed that builders would need to know something about the rocks and mountains in order to successfully construct a city in such conditions. Matthew picked around. They began mapping the region's tectonic faults by employing satellite imagery and field measurements. Indeed, even before the appearance of the Incas and Matthew Picchu, the Andes were framed by monstrous seismic tremors. The Nazca Plate and the South American Plate, two parts of the Earth's crust, collided millions of years ago. At the point when the Nazca Plate was pushed underneath the South American Plate, it framed a transcending rock. So when he's not in the space, you can become familiar with the Machu Picchu region than somebody who has made a trip to the area multiple times. Mountain. During this time, he led broad examination in college labs, as well as on satellite symbolism, large numbers of which attracted on past exploration the region to make sense of his examination. It seems like you get to pick who works in places that most contemporary craftsmen avoid, and that is overwhelmingly significant. As a matter of fact, with every one of the breaks on the planet, it is by all accounts dropping out of the wall. As a matter of fact, there's such a lot of foundation here that 5 bugs meet under Matthew's detestable persona to stamp the spot, and Manigault accepts it didn't occur unintentionally. At the point when you read about Machu Picchu, you see the Manigault and see every one of the incredible things worked around the separation point underneath the city. The design plainly shows the in situ break lattice portrayed in Land Society of America distributions. As a matter of fact, many individuals realized that the Inca had numerous urban communities that appeared to flawlessly fit the country. The Atlanta Tambo site is under 20 kilometers from Matthew Pigeon and is accepted to be the site of different structural flaws, 50 kilometers east of Pisac. Many likewise guarantee that Costco's Inca Central Command is based on a separation point underneath the city. This ink was abused to dial back city development. As a matter of fact, as indicated by Manigault's story, the Incas painstakingly investigated the land emergency region as the site for their city. As per the researcher, he understood that the cracked rocks found above structural flaws make great structure materials, though where the shortcomings are found, the stones break more. This isn't the main chance for city working in these areas. But according to some sources, broken stone also naturally forms geometric shapes like triangles and hexagons, so the material must be the right shape. That tremendous blast broke the stone along frail planes, extraordinarily diminishing how much energy expected to forestall the harm portrayed in the article. In any case, looking at regions across various structural shortcomings doesn't make the undertaking any simpler. The Andes are a perilous Manigault, where individuals can make do in restricted living arrangements with intravenous siphoning, she told Newsweek. After this action, the blacks turned into the new individuals, which permitted them to fabricate an organization of towns in this sort of desert springs and give houses through the deficiencies and water harm from the mountains that the Incas didn't construct. In valleys, accordingly decreasing the gamble of avalanches and flooding. However, Jan Mayen is of the opinion that the gravel that Matthew picked up also serves a purpose, and that sometimes storms are also a problem. Indeed, even at the highest point of the Andes, the nearby climate gives regular water, in this manner shielding the region from flooding. Making Manigault accounts for approximately 2/3 of the temple's construction, as stated in the press release. Matthew picked the term that best depicts the Inca domain as the realm of rock. Interestingly, Manigat told Newsweek that the Incas had a different explanation for how their cities were built through tectonic forces, while Peruvian Secretary General Mara Alguedas said the Incas had only broken through the mountains on a small scale. Yet, does this imply that individuals who assembled it picked the most topographically progressed individuals at that point? Indeed, while he doesn't have the foggiest idea why these bugs happen, Manigault is certain he'll track down them. The Incas knew how to stamp the most harmed regions, and they realized it would require a long investment to proceed, which is significantly more astounding than the Incas' information on deficiencies. So the designs they helped construct are assessed to have endured north of 550 years. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated with our latest videos, subscribing is the way to go. Just click that red button below and become a part of our channel family.